Y'all, I gotta come clean. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you'll of course will have seen my journey across the different gachas that I play, but what if I told you there actually has been one that I've been playing in secret for the past, what, month and a half now that it's been out? And even though it's a game that I did not follow too heavily prior to its release, even though I did know of it, upon playing it, it really did just surprise me with just how much fun they actually ended up being and how much I actually ended up enjoying the game. But with that being said, yo, what's poppin', y'all? It's Brother Frona back at it with another video on the channel. And as you can see, if you already know what this game is or just read the title, we are going to bring some Chaos Zero Nightmare to the channel in this video. So of course, starting it off in true fashion, gacha fashion, we are going to do some Chizuru pulls today, the new character that just recently came out. And I was actually deciding on skipping her banner, really just because even though I really did like her design, as you guys will see when this will be a perfect segue for showing off my combatants, but I do have, as you guys can see, all of the 5-star Void DPS characters, as well as just the 4-star ones also, in the game before she released. So I really didn't feel the need to obviously try to pull her, because I could just build up all these other characters if I did want to have a Void DPS. But upon watching more gameplay and just, of course, like I said, liking her design, I did end up deciding, you know what, let's put out a video, because I did want to bring a video to this game sooner, but again, because of my trip, I wasn't able to. So we are going to do some summons for Chizuru today, and just to give a TLDR of my summon history so far, I did try to reroll. Usually I always do if the process isn't too egregious, so it's, you know, case by case for each game, but on the first multi I did on standard banner, I got Rin. The first multi I did on the beginner banner, because I switched to that, I got Kalipe. After Kalipe, I ended up getting Renoa in the very next multi, and then the third and fourth I'm pretty sure were duds, and then I ended up getting Kayron as the last multi on the beginner banner. And then from there, I ended up getting, you know, Malin and Magna over time on standard. I also got a dupe for Ren and Kalipe, so they're both at E1. But with that being said, like I said, let's get into some summons. You guys will notice that I didn't have Haru or Yuki on my account, so now before y'all jump me and get mad at me, you know, I always got so much currency on my accounts, but the reason is because, like I said, I did not pull for either of their banners, for Haru or Yuki, because of course, like I said, starting off with the 5 stars that I did on my account, I just really didn't feel the need to go for more DPS characters. And well, actually, you know, we'll probably start off with a standard multi, because I didn't even know I had enough to do one. Oh my gosh. If you're new to this game, that little flicker of purple in the beginning on that screen is the indicator of a 5-star. Which is crazy, because as y'all probably saw in my pity, I am getting close to that guaranteed selector for a 5-star, so I probably am going to wait until the next 5-star I get after this multi, so I don't end up picking someone that I end up pulling right after, because knowing my luck, that's probably going to happen if I did choose beforehand. But let's see who it's going to be. Oh wow. So we ended up getting another dupe of Rin, so she should be at E2 now with this dupe. That's actually pretty crazy. I was hoping for Veronica or Hugo or even Orlea as, you know, standard characters that I don't have yet I would want to build, but will not complain at E2. Pretty nice, pretty nice. After all, with her Darkness stance. She was one of the characters I used at the beginning because she was my first 5-star, but fell off of building her, so I do want to get back into investing into her eventually. Although we'll have to wait and see. Because obviously, you know, if we get Chizuru or not, I am going to probably prioritize building her, of course, but getting back to it, if I end up, you know, missing the 50-50 and not getting Chizuru, I don't mind going to full pity, just because, again, I have not summoned on a single rate-up banner before now. Honestly, like I said, you know, if I do lose the 50-50, I am really hoping to get either Veronica or Hugo or Orlea as an off-banner. Which, even though it sucks, because I probably wouldn't build, you know, them right away, other than Veronica for, you know, my Malin team. I also do need, like, what, 2 more dupes on Tressa, and, like, I think a lot for Ray, so any dupes of them I can get as well will be perfect. Got one right there, pretty good. Because I would probably plan to run both of them on my Chizuru team. If I do get her, of course. Okay, another Rin. Or Rin, another Ray, sorry. Damn, oh, okay. Ray, Tressa, and Cassius. Now, the funny thing about Nia and Cassius, obviously they're really good 4-star supports for card draw, but it took me forever to finally get them on my account, which is why they're not built. When I showed you guys my combatants, like, it took me probably, what, I think over 150 pulls until I saw my first one, and then I ended up, of course, getting them back-to-back multis, I think, so. And true gotcha luck for me. These dupes are hitting, though. Man, it's been a long time since I saw consistent good off-banner, or not off-banner, but consistent good 4-star picks like that. We are getting a 5-star. Can we beat the odds and get Chizuru? I think we were also one multi before Pity, so we didn't have to go to hard Pity the first time around. Alright, here's the 5-star. I do not know her voice line, but I think that's it. Oh, yeah! We got Chizuru, man. We beat the odds. Now, y'all know me, I like to be greedy. Can we potentially get a 2-in-1? You know, especially if I get off-banner, that'll put me in a perfect spot to get, you know, guaranteed on the next. Whoa! Yo! No way! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! I was just playing, not really though, but bro, we actually got a 2-in-1 Chizuru multi? Are we serious? And it's crazy too, because we just got that universal dupe from the second tab in the current event shop. So if I really wanted to, I could even get her to E2. Because I've seen that's like really good for, in terms of just, you know, more comfortability and just more efficient. But man, that caught me off guard. You know, double Chizuru multi. I'm gonna have to screenshot this. Let me get my. Y'all won't be able to see it, but quick little snipping tool there. We're on. For some reason, this shit likes to bug every now and then. Okay, we should be good. But man, yeah, I mean, that was crazy. Literally double Chizuru multi, and pretty sure I did have like 10 pity on that banner. I don't know if I mentioned it or not before polling, but I did do at least one multi on Haru just from the free multi we got at the start of launch. Just to, you know, test my luck, of course. But now, going for the partner. The good thing about the partner banner, and I'll, you know, touch on it again when I get to the end of the video, because I do want to kind of list my pros and cons for this game that I've been, you know, seeing so far. But a pro for sure is that the fact that the partner banner, if I remember correctly, is guaranteed to get the rate up partner. Pretty sure there's no other 5-star partners you can get, so it is guaranteed to get the one that you want. So that is pretty nice. And of course, if I get any, you know, good 4-stars, I mean, the ones for this banner aren't really the ones that I want, because obviously if I'm getting a 5-star, I'm not going to need the 4-star psionic one, unless I'm using it on a different character, of course. But well, I could use it for my Tressa. Actually, that is something I could do there. Wasn't even thinking about that, because Tressa is psionic. But you know, any Lillian dupes, any of that healer chick, I forgot her name. Just any good 4-star partners I use right now would be great, and we're just getting that one a million times over. Can we get the other one, at least? Again, can't complain though. Even if I do have to go to hard pity for the partner, I truly can't even trip. And a Nia dupe, man, I think that's E1. I'm pretty sure that Cassius dupe was also E1, so that really just lets you know how often I have not been pulling them. But here comes the 5. Okay, off rip. Alrighty, first one. I think that's hers. Oh, yes, it is. We got Itsuku, her partner. Let's go, man. And for it being my first time summoning in this game on a rate up, this came out tremendously, I gotta say. I'm not expecting my luck to be this good. I mean, being 50-50s, you know, I've been known to do that across my other summoning videos, which is crazy because I feel like if I wasn't recording it, I'd be losing it more often because I typically tend to, but man, being able to get a 2-in-1, again, like I said, if it was an off banner, that would be perfect for the next character I end up summoning it on, but I cannot be mad at E1 Chizuru at all. So I think here we're going to do a quick little cut so I can get her built up somewhat. I'm obviously not going to be able to do a whole chaos run unless I want to get this video out sometime soon, but see you guys in a little bit. We are back, and funny enough, it's actually a day after I recorded my summons because I was spending time with family and got the bat call from the boys to hop on the game, so you can't ignore that, right? But now we're back to it. Show you guys real quick before I end the video by doing just my pros and cons for the game after playing it for a month and a half. Do have Chizuru leveled up to max. Do have her partner at 50. I don't have any of my partners at level 60 just yet. And I do have Tressa built 50 on her and her partner. That Ray was already built, so that's another reason why I want to make sure to get more dupes in her if possible, which we were able to. So, showing off my Chizuru, rocking 39, almost 40% crit rate with 166 crit damage. And we could even get this really a little bit higher because I don't have any built into her crit chance that much. I'm trying to farm more for these damn potential mats, but other than that, pretty good, pretty good. And I did lie. I said I wasn't going to farm any chaos, but during that break from the two recordings, I did actually end up doing some chaos runs. And having said that, look into my memory fragments. Now I will say when I did do my chaos runs, I was rocking way worse gear. I literally just focused on this gear or getting up to better gear like the last hour or two. So I've not been able to run a chaos run yet with my new gear pieces. But with that in mind, we are doing the new Orb of Inhibition set. I did craft it because I was not going to try to grind it because I already needed to grind for everything else, right? Potential mats, ascension mats for Tressa, all that good stuff, and her partner. You know how it is. But so for this set, the new set that came to the game with the release of Chizuru, so obviously it's probably gonna be tailor made for when hitting 2 times with 1 attack card, plus 10% damage amount, 2 void cards for 1 turn, stacks up to 2 times per turn. Obviously really good for someone like Chizuru because even in her cards at base, excuse me, her Moon Slash, right, her most basic attack card, already hits for 2 times. So you're already getting those stacks. And pretty much the rest of her attack cards, minus probably just her Karmic Flame, is hitting multiple times. Like her Oni Hunt's hitting 3 times. Shadow of the Moon, especially when you get to the plus variant, can hit pretty much as long as you're getting bind stacks, right? By building up your Will-O-Wisp, which is her passive. So you're pretty much getting this passive off a lot, and of course with that I'm running her with the Executioner's Tool 2-piece for extra crit damage because I am trying to get more of a crit focus build on her. As for my stats, I didn't mention the attack. It is at 735 because you really don't need too much attack for Chizuru because for at least her last couple of passives, you only need it to be greater than 600 to get the actual effect from it. Could probably get this also, but again, need more mats. So you only need that 600 to get those effects, and every 40 attack over that, at least for this last node, gives you 1% extra modifier to her damage for bind cards. So yeah, there's that. Go real quick just through the substats. This one's pretty bad to be honest, but this is the only legendary piece I had for this set, so I've been rocking with it and leveled it up. This one's pretty okay. Got both flat and percentage attack, as well as crit damage and ego recovery. Funny enough, this is one of those games where flat stats are actually better than percentage stats because base stats are really low. So I found that to be pretty interesting. For the third piece, crit chance, recovery, ego recovery, defense and attack percentage, pretty good there, especially the crit chance. I am running a crit chance for the type 4 piece for the crit damage set, so 27% crit chance from there, as well as attack flat, extra damage percent, defense and health percent. Do have attack on this one. I think I got actually pretty lucky when I was crafting this set. I wasn't able to get a void damage piece, but I was able to get just a banger piece just off the rip from this one, because I think this is the only one I even have for this set, at least in terms of legendary. But crit damage, damage over time, crit chance, and health, really good. This one's more of a flex piece, just for the, mainly just because for the set bonus, because again, this is the one I got for legendary pieces. But ain't gonna complain with health, just to have more survivability, because in my earlier chaos runs before getting this better gear, I was struggling to even reach the end. So there was that, but damage over time, crit damage, attack, defense, pretty good overall, I think, right? Especially once I build a little bit more into this potential, get more crit chance on her. would be pretty good. Probably be pretty close to 40, or not 40, but 50, which is pretty good, right? And just to show you guys, I did put in her dupe, and I did not use the um, universal one yet. I think I'm probably gonna hold it for now, is until some like actual like limited unit comes, like a collab character or something. But I'm quickly just going over my other units. Tressa got it at max dupe, which is great. Memory fragments. Got the exhausted void damage set for the 4-piece, and then the agony damage for the 2-piece. But this isn't, the thing about this game is that this is only just one of the ways that you can build her. Obviously, you could also run the 2-piece attack set, so she does scale off of attack for agony damage. Potentials ain't too crazy, just pretty much with her dupe bonuses in them, because I really don't need these other ones too much, because I'm using her more of a sub DPS than her main DPS. Save data, not too bad again, but all their save data isn't the greatest right now. But now that I have the better gear on them, it should be a lot better. And then our partner, of course, level 50 for Ray. Partner level 50, running the 3-star healer. Ray probably has the best save data out of all my characters so far from this team of 3, because she has the void damage for both her dark condensation and her resonating darkness. Extra void damage is nice. Also got extra healing on her snack time. Make her more of a support. Essentials, again, it's really going pretty much off her dupes only. And then I do have more of a support build for with the HP, defense, and Seth Scarab for extra damage, shield, and healing from basics. I think with that, we will wrap things up, like I said, by getting into the pros and cons for this game that I've been experiencing so far. So for first things first, for the pros, presentation is really nice. Obviously, I played Epic 7 when it first came out, so I already knew Smilegate was pretty good with the character designs and the animations for all the characters, for just their regular skills and their special abilities, or special, like ultimates or yo skills. So presentation's good there. Even for like the UI, pretty nice. Nothing's too cluttered. Everything's pretty easy to manage and navigate in terms of that. Even for the rest of these in the side tab here, all laid out pretty nicely and easy to see. For cons, we'll try to bounce it out, try to go back and forth, but definitely the first con for sure is I absolutely hate the Stove client for PC. It's the only client we have for PC unless you're using an emulator, and it is just not that good. Load times are kind of abysmal at times, like even just like for me launching into the game. When the game first came out and I got it on PC, it was working perfectly fine, but now it's like I have to start off in a black screen with like a white rectangle in the middle for like a couple of minutes before it actually loads in. And then from there, like there's like stutters when I'm trying to load into different menus and stuff like that. So I feel like I just have to use a lot more optimization to make it more smooth and seamless across going different, navigating the different menus. And even like last night, right, after my summons and I was doing a little bit of grinding, I was getting like actual like visual screen tearing. I think, is that the right word? Like when like the screen like shakes and has like those streaky lines. Just from, playing this, right? Because it didn't happen until I started playing this on PC. At least in terms of yesterday. But other than that, honestly do prefer playing some of my games on PC, so I can't really say too much unless I want to use an emulator. But going to another pro for sure is the gacha system. I really like how it's set up for being, pity has 70 pulls, which compared to the average being 80, 10 pulls less to get to pity, which definitely adds up over time. Obviously, isn't like the craziest change, but over time, if you're playing the game for a long time, it's going to add up to a lot of pulls that you pretty much saved. If you were playing like an 80 pity game, like normal. And also, just to confirm to you guys that I'm not joking about the rate up partner banner being guaranteed to get the rate up partner. Go to probability info and probability guide. You'll see right here, you have a 100% chance for the 5-star target to appear, being the rate up partner. If you don't believe me, still, scroll down, 5-star targets, this is the list of them. Itaku is the only one there, right? So, for rate up partner banners, when you summon on them and you get to pity, or at least till you get a 5-star, you are guaranteed to get the rate up partner that you want, which is incredible, right? Because obviously, compared to the average gacha game, summoning for things like weapons, or artifacts, or partners, or whatever they're categorized for their specific game, They're just kind of troubling at times and just stressful to say the least, right? Because you have to pull for the character and then their weapon to make them, OP or just best in slot or whatever the case may be. When here you can just get it for free, or not for free, but get it without having to stress. Once you pull a 5-star, you know you got it. And obviously you can see the rest of the partners and combatants here for 4 stars, so again, not lying about it being guaranteed. I also like for the gacha that this banner here, all this is for the present model is just making your cards for your characters go from basic looking to animations. Alright. So I'm glad that they made it to where it only will take this specific material, the prism lens, to actually pull on the banner. You can't use your premium currency, so if I try doing a 10 pull, it won't let me, because I need these materials to be able to do the 10 pull. So I think that's nice just because, it helps newer players or just newer gacha players in general just not make a mistake of pulling on this banner thinking they're getting like her partner or something, and just pulling for cosmetics. But other than that, I think another con definitely is, of course, the resource bottleneck. Again, a lot of this stuff I'm sure you've heard many people say, but it really just is that big of a problem. Now, again, it was like this for E7 at the start, and it makes sense why it's a thing right now because there's only so many characters in the game, and the way that this kind of game is designed to be, expressive and have a lot of freedom for how you can build basically every aspect of the character. Being able to have the resources to get everyone to max level, or at least even like 50 on top of their partners, on top of their potentials, getting them like damn near max, or at least all the big nodes achieved. Pretty much like being able to get all your characters up to pretty much close to max investment or just really high investment obviously would not be realistic for a gacha game, and would definitely put the devs in a bad spot if that was the case, because then everyone has all their units built up and nothing else to work towards. So even though you have like so many options to build teams from, it's like people just end up getting bored anyways because now they're stacking an abhorrent amount of leveling and essential materials that they have no one to use it on. And then it's like at that point the community would just expect the devs to put out characters more frequently because of that, which then will just hinder obviously the gacha side of things for how many pulls we get for free per month, because obviously we're getting a lot of pulls over the past month because of the honeymoon phase, but it is going to slowly dwindle over time like every gacha game does. It's not going to be as generous. Like even now, like my messages we had, or was it, I don't think it's here, I think it deleted, but I had like a free 10 pull just for the heck of it, just for like an inconvenience for the limited banner. So yeah, it's definitely going to dwindle over time, but again, really nice. And then I think for the last thing, I think just as a pro, just to make this a little bit shorter because I could pretty much go on for a bit with the pros and cons, but definitely the thing that obviously drawed me into this game the most out of everything, and why I've been able to, or why I've not been able, but why I've been playing it for this entire time, is the fact that since this game is designed to be a roguelite deck builder, like I said, there is so much freedom of expression in this game for how you can build your units, for their memory fragments, right, to their potentials, to a fault. Obviously you want to be cognizant of how the characters actually function so you're not just building into the wrong thing, but at the end of the day, if you can make it work and it allows you to clear the hardest content in the game, there's really nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want with your characters for their builds. And obviously like the biggest thing too, right, like this isn't a gacha game where the character itself like makes up the majority of the power, as long as you like obviously level up their skills and their weapons or whatever the case may be. But for CZN, the bulk of your potential really, no pun intended, is actually coming from your save data, right? But you're actually farming in the roguelite mode, the chaos mode, for your cards to get, upgrade them from being basic like this to getting epiphanies that can make them better somehow. And the fact that there's just like so many options for each, card that has the ability to be epiphanied, it just allows you to try so many different builds. The fact that you can just seamlessly change between your save datas and have them, categorized by, favorites and whatnot, it truly just allows you to experiment, and they actually encourage you to experiment so many different builds, as many as you can pretty much think of. And I think because of that, this is one of those games that really just has so much potential it can really just grow to an insane amount, because I feel like this is truly one of those games where the more people that come to the player base, actually the better, because whether it's like a seasoned former TCG pro, or the average TCG player, or even someone that's never even touched TCGs, right? Coming into a game like this where it has the gacha elements that most people are probably used to if they've at least played a gacha before, everyone has their ideas that they can bring to the table, whether for character designs, for kit designs, how those kits can be built on by epiphanies, right, to be better or do a certain function. There's so many different things that we can come to together as a community just by simply having discourse with each other, that I feel like this game really just can be infinitely scaling in terms of how good it can get, similar to obviously some of the characters in the game, right? It's like there really is no limit for what the potential of this game can be, because there's so many different ways that you can build things that you can really just come up with your own idea that no one's even tried before, based off of one specific item in a chaos, or one specific skill on a character's kit, and just turn it into a whole build that ends up becoming disgusting because you funneled everything you had into it and you made it work, right? With your also with the synergy of your other characters on top of that. So again, I am planning to stick with this game for the long haul, for the foreseeable future, because I do really enjoy the game a lot. With that being said, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Expect more CZN to come to the channel as well. And also, another reason why I like CZN is because since the game focuses obviously a lot on its chaos mode and its roguelike mode, I do want to start getting out more actual gameplay videos for not only this game, but for all the gachas that I play, for Nikkei and P5X. Obviously, I've done some of that in the past, but obviously, I want to get more into it, especially on top of doing things that I used to do, like showcases before I went on my vacation to Japan. But I will say, solo raid on Nikkei is coming in a couple of days, so expect a video on that, so I can show y'all I'm really about this commander-ish, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really Sir Frohan from Eden in this motherfucker. But with that being said, again, appreciate you guys a lot for tuning into this video. It's Brother Frona, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.